Welcome to the loveliest time of the world. I mean, to be alive? I don't know. Welcome to the TUBCAST, everybody. Tonight we're talking about Stadia and also popular gaming trends. Also, a lot of other things that we'd like to talk about.
That's right.
But thank you for joining us tonight. This is where you need to be. This is where we want you to be. And we're glad that you made it. If you've never been here before, well, then you found the right place. This is your new home. If you've been here before and it just feels like an old pair of underwear, welcome.
That's good too.
Yeah, we're glad you're here for that as well.
I mean, when they start to disintegrate, though, it's almost a little too much.
Yes. That's true. No, but as always, I'm Eric. I'm joined by Kyle. And
hey.
Jeremy's here, and Kuipers is back here keeping us,
sane
and
running.
Running.
He keeps us on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Is that scary if he is the one that is keeping us sane and running?
Why?
I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
What is it? What's that? What are you
Kyle's
saying
onto something.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You're saying he's not the most sane of us?
I've seen him dance. He's really good at it.
All right, that's a true statement, and I am not going to argue with it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you're here, Kuipers.
Thank you for joining us, Kuipers. I'm glad that you joined us. Kuipers is also glad, as you can hear. He's very thrilled to be here.
He's so happy that he is spending his Thursday nights with us.
Hey, I mean, it's either this or the embrace of a lady, so...
Yeah.
Obviously.
Which one would you choose?
What would you...
I should go.
Correct answer. No, wrong answer.
Yeah. No, it is really nice to be here. I want to start out the evening real quick just by, saying a little bit about our current situation here in the Iowas and the Nebraskas.
Truth.
It is very floody around here.
It is.
Fortunately, where we are, there is no flooding.
We're kind of in between flooding.
Yeah, we're just surrounded by it. It's kind of like we're an island now.
It's the Army Corps of Engineers, man.
But yeah, if you are, if you are affected by that, our condolences. That
Correct.
Sucks a lot. And also, if I would just like to encourage our viewers and listeners that if you feel like you could help in some way, do it.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do. Go to the you can give money to the Red Cross, or if you're local,
There's a lot of different places.
ways. Yeah, there's whether it's churches or other community centers, or there's a lot of different places that are rallying together to support people in this time. So it's crazy because it's like if it didn't happen to you, it's a little bit unrelatable because you're just like, how do you wrap your head around it? But you just see you see the images and you hear the stories, and it's like, man, it's so tragic. I mean, I keep hearing about all the dead pets, and that makes me really sad. And it's a bad time.
Yeah.
So people are struggling, and I tweeted a story the other night about it that I'd heard kind of secondhand about these firefighters who they're out there on these airboats, and when they would shut the engines down, they could hear the dogs barking in the houses, and it's like, okay, that's sad as it is, and people will be, maybe you're hearing this and you are unfamiliar with the situation, and you would go, wow, those are bad people. Why would they leave their animals there? Well, they didn't.
Not everybody had a chance to get stuff.
Yeah, right. They had mandatory evacuations, and a lot of these smaller towns, people would commute into Omaha to work, and the mandatory evacuations happened in the middle of the day when they were at work. They could not get back to their homes to get their pets or their belongings. So yeah, it's just, it's a sucky situation all around. It seems like the community is doing a really good job, though, kind of, getting together,
right,
reaching out that neighborly hand, doing something good. I think I just saw that, Trump approved our disaster funding.
Hey,
so that's good.
Fantastic.
I'll say it was, so I flew in on Sunday home into the Omaha airport, and flying over the city from the south to where the airport is, Highway 29, which goes north and south.
Underwater.
Underwater, both sides of town.
Yep.
and it just made Omaha and Council Bluffs look like an island. Like it
crazy.
just seeing all 4 lanes of the highway going straight into a big old lake.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my nephew had a birthday party north of here, and to get there, I had to drive like I was going out towards Des Moines and around, because there's like a large chunk between Missouri Valley and here that's
I'm impressed
cut off.
that you went anyways.
Yeah, going south, they
That's
actually
devotion to your nephew.
Yeah.
going south to Kansas City. They actually have detours having people go I-80 all the way to Des Moines to 35.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
That is nuts.
Like basically
4 hours out of the way.
Basically, large chunk of Missouri and Iowa, there's I-29 that is closed from Missouri Valley down into Missouri. And the only stretch of that is open is like that little bit that ties into I-80.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
well,
don't-
even
in
north
town.
of here, because some of the towns on the north side of Nebraska, Niobrara, if you know where that is,
Yep.
they had a historic bridge that was like 200 years old or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
gone.
And it got taken out, 25-foot floodwaters basically took it out.
Yeah.
It's crazy too, because I don't even think, unless maybe they did something like locally within Omaha and Council Bluffs, but like the floodwaters never got as high as 2011.
That's
here.
because they rebuilt a bunch of the levees.
Oh,
Yep.
did they that
Yeah,
come in?
Yeah.
so
here?
that protected the in-town parts, but then north and south of here.
Gotcha. So
Right.
it almost
Okay.
pushed the
So
water
that's
out.
yeah, because like, and I work downtown, so like being able to be up in the sky a little bit, seeing the river, you could like we literally on Thursday afternoon watched as that park in Council Bluffs, the Tom whatever.
Tom
Hanford-
Arnold.
Tom
Park.
Arnold Park, yeah. As it slowly turned into an island, and then the island just got smaller, and then it was just gone.
Well, there's that one statue that always gets flooded out there. Is that on the Omaha or the Bluff side? I can't remember. It's the dude. He's got like a hammer or something in his hand, and that's like a really good.
Oh, that's the Union
Omaha side.
Pacific.
Yeah.
guy.
It's a good gauge, because like the 2011 it was like up to his wrist, and this one it was like down to like below his elbow. So, that's a good way to gauge how high the flood waters
it
are.
has been going down.
Yeah, it's receding. I saw Highway Patrol posting video of 29, and it's just covered in like what looks almost like seaweed and stuff. Like
A dam
all over
got completely blown out though too.
And
Yeah.
at Niobrara, that's where
Yeah.
that's where
That's where
that
that
bridge went
caused
out.
that,
The
yeah.
video of that bridge floating in
And
a river is just
I've
insane.
been on
Surreal,
that
yeah.
well, it's more of a stream normally, but it's a river, Niobrara River. But I've gone tubing on there quite a few times in the past, and gone under that bridge, and then to see where the waters were when I've been there, and then where they were taking that bridge out. It was impressive.
Yeah.
So, anyways, condolences to everybody affected by that. Hopefully, you have found a place to reside and rebuild. But yeah, I'd encourage everybody to get out and do something that they can. It doesn't have to be money. You can do something. All right, let's get this show started now that we're all bummed out. Let's go ahead and wring it out, dry off. Someone bring in the dehumidifiers, and let's liven up the things a little bit. It's we did this thing last week, but now we're back again. But Jeremy's here.
Jeremy's with us.
Last week was just the two of us building castles in the sand. But now it's the three of us. Jeremy, what have you been up to?
I don't know.
in
What
a
did you
couple
tell
weeks?
everyone I've been doing?
I don't know if we
don't
had a good
remember.
excuse for
You
you.
just gave up already,
We were just
right?
like, he's gone again.
gone.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You're just gone so frequently anymore.
Where was I this last time? Oh, back to Kentucky, doing stuff in the Kentuckys. So
Did you find the fried chicken? Did you get the secret
you know,
recipe?
it's interesting. I kind of had to laugh because I did see a KFC, and I saw nobody in the parking
Ground
lot.
Zero.
And then there was a Cane's and a Chick-fil-A right across the street, and those parking lots were full. And I'm like, can't these people in Kentucky get it?
Wait, what was across the street? That's from your hotel?
No. It was just in an area that I was at for a while.
okay.
You saw that KFC
there was a
was
KFC,
empty.
and like there was literally one car in the parking lot. It was probably the person working there.
They're like, this is not.
and then right
Kentucky
across the
Fried.
street there was
Gotcha.
Cane's and
What up?
That
You know,
other
that's
place.
the court of public
Yeah.
opinion there. You know.
there you go. There's some age to the KFC.
I don't think the
you know?
KFC holds the same kind of audience that those others do anymore.
I mean,
well, obviously
I went
not.
For, I'll
That's
be
what-
honest.
I mean, just
I
in
went
general.
for KFC tonight. I
Yeah?
had KFC for dinner.
Gross.
It's because I like their mashed potatoes and gravy.
That
Is that weird?
I mean, I would be afraid to admit that because it makes me
okay.
sound like a senior citizen. But
I am a senior citizen,
But-
so it makes complete sense.
but I am also with you that I would totally,
Like,
smash
taking-
some taters and gravy from
Taking
KFC.
a
Smashed
a
potatoes.
chicken tender from there and dipping it in the taters and gravy. It's just actually if you take they have those like potato wedges and then you dip those in the mashed potatoes and gravy. Point right there.
I
That
once
is-
I
you
once
dip the
had a
potatoes in it?
Yeah.
No,
the
you're
fried-
supposed to dip the
fri-
chicken in.
I know, but the fried potato wedges, you dip them in the mashed potatoes and gravy too.
That's-
it's just
that doesn't sound like that's
Are you going to the buffet? How are you ending up?
Yeah, how do you have that
how are
much
you getting-
gravy left?
No, but how are you getting both?
No,
how are
I'm
you
saying
getting wedges
I didn't
and
have
mashed
that
potatoes and
tonight.
gravy?
I just got the 5 chicken tender basket with the mashed potatoes.
You add an
and
extra
gravy.
side?
No,
just
I'm
pick
saying,
'em.
but if I get it for like the family, you get the bucket of chicken, you get sides of mashed potatoes and gravy, you get corn, and you get potato wedges because they're amazing. They're like miniature baked potatoes with fried goodness on the outside.
I just don't think you go for both starches. That's just
Why
weird
not?
to me. I would know. It's
It's
just a
just
bad
more
choice.
potatoes.
Well, that's true. If
I
you're
mean-
doing it as potatoes and potatoes, that seems like that is a bad
Here's
choice.
why. Though.
Here's what
when
you
you're
do.
doing it for multiple people, some people like the mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay, sure.
And some people like
But
the
if
other.
you are by yourself and you are
Yeah,
just
well, yeah,
getting, if
absolutely. You get one or
then-
the other.
Well, then you get
Yeah.
mashed potatoes or the potato wedges, and then the other carb is your mac and cheese. That's different because
Yeah.
you're not doubling up on potatoes.
Yeah, I mean
That's true.
that's
different.
like going to a restaurant that offers 2 sides and then they have a lot of sides and you're
and
like
you get rice and
no,
Can I
like
get-
mashed
getting
potatoes?
French fries and
Yeah.
baked potato or something like that.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that,
yeah.
but you could do rice and baked potato.
I
right?
mean, that would be allowed. Yeah, I wouldn't
It'd
look
be
down
weird.
on
It'd
that.
be-
don't
I've
double-
done it.
I've done that,
but
I
you
would-
don't double the same exact
Veg-
starch.
Unless you just say double the mashed potatoes.
I mean, maybe
you can do
you
that.
could double both
Okay.
of the same. I would go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like 2
Because
mashed
I've done that, right?
potatoes-
Like the option is mixed vegetables, and they're not like the good ones,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like mixed, and you're like, okay, so what's in there, right? And they're like, there's zucchini and okra, and you're just like, yeah, nix that. And
I love zucchini.
and you're like, what's my other options? And they're like, well, you can get baked potato or mashed potatoes.
yeah, you double.
Or-
Can I get a
rice.
baked
And you
potato
just say-
with mashed potatoes inside of it, please?
That would be a twice baked. But then you're just like, I'll just take more mashed. Thank you very much.
No, see,
Yeah.
it's just so it would be like ordering corn and then corn on the cob. Like
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
wouldn't
that's true.
do
I
it.
get
like
that.
that's just not.
I get that.
You don't take the root of what the
Right.
thing is and then you make it into 2 different things.
I'm telling
and then
you what,
eat that
try
in the
it
same
one of
meal.
these times. Just
saying that
try it.
That you're just living the best you.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
You're
like
living. You're,
it's like
you're
mashed
literally
potatoes.
dipping potatoes in potatoes.
I know, but it's like it's like mashed potatoes without a spoon. You don't need a spoon because you've got the
But
the
you're
wedge
saying
to scoop
so
it.
wait, so you're saying I thought you said that you were just dipping the wedges into
No,
the
the mashed potatoes and gravy.
no,
That's
because
what
that's totally okay.
No, but you're
No, you
dipping it
gotta-
into the mashed potatoes
And
that-
gravy.
and
Yes,
Okay,
Kyle.
I
This
thought
is my problem.
I'm with you on this.
But because
You're wrong.
Because Eric said you could totally dip the chicken in mashed potatoes and gravy.
I would do that. That's
yeah.
acceptable.
I'm sorry. I thought that we
Which
were
is
just
what I
talking
did
about
today.
you with gravy.
Now here's the thing.
Clarify.
If you're like gonna go get some like truck stop meal, I would go for the fries with the gravy on it. Like that's
Well,
fine.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Just
cheese
get-
if they have it.
get
If they
rid
have
of the
like
mash-
nacho cheese, just
Get
toss
rid
that
of
on
the
there.
mashed potatoes. Put the fries on that plate. Put gravy
Yeah.
on it. That's totally allowed. But to use the main ingredient as a condiment,
Are you telling me I'm redneck? Is that what
Yes.
you're-
I don't know what you
So
are.
think about this. Okay, what about? I know not everyone likes buffets,
yeah, I don't because this is like weird. All these people.
but if
sneezing
you had a
on your
buffet,
food.
That's what the sneeze guard's
and
for.
there's
Yeah, but
like
there's short people and little kids.
and there's
doesn't
fries,
block their sneezes.
but if you're at a buffet and there's mashed potatoes and gravy, and then there's potato wedges,
I don't get both.
why not?
For one, most of the time buffet gravy is disgusting.
It's probably
True.
It's like weird out of the can and it's yellow.
or it's white, and it
I
just
mean,
doesn't make
white is
and it
okay.
tastes like flour though
because it's made from flour, so it should be white. I mean, or if it's beef gravy, it's brown. If it's chicken
Right.
gravy, it should not be yellow. I'm just saying, chickens aren't yellow.
Yeah.
Is it curry? Why is it
They
yellow?
probably use cream of chicken. There's something
Yeah, I
weird
know.
in there. I don't know.
It's like food dye or something. I don't know. Yellow. Yeah. Anyway, no, I don't double my potatoes. I don't know that I have ever done that, but I am very proud of you.
There's a reason
Very.
that I got this baby weight.
Well, now that you're pointing attention to it, Bewitched says that you look good in purple or in the pink shirt that you've got
it's
on here.
the pink. It's not me.
Yeah, it's you're right. It is something that you can get at our store.
That's true.
So-
But Twitched is with you. She
Yeah.
says I use wedges and strips to dip into potatoes and gravy.
Oh, see, I'm not the only one.
There you go. The world has voted. Kyle and I are
The
wrong.
We're
world.
wrong, apparently.
I mean,
There was
that
one.
would be a 50-50 split because Kuipers didn't
Kuipers
weigh
did
in.
chime
Kuipers.
in. What Kuipers? Do you approve of dipping your potatoes in your potatoes?
I have been known to dip my potatoes in potatoes from
Wow.
time to time.
Wait, what? The same context?
Yeah,
Wedges?
like wedges and mashed potatoes.
Where
yeah.
are people getting wedges and potatoes all the time?
Why?
At KFC.
Why are you getting them
Obviously.
at KFC like that?
But why both?
Because you're getting the 20-piece bucket.
this the same
and
scenario
you
for
got family over
Kuipers?
for Sunday afternoon.
It all goes in the same place
And-
anyway.
I know, but how did you end up with wedges and potatoes? Was it a family affair
Or
were
a
you just-
buffet. Tell
think
me
it
it's a
was
buffet.
buffet.
Okay,
Yeah.
gosh, oh my gosh.
Pizza Ranch? Have you done it there? Because them wedges
They have that weird
are like,
yellow gravy there.
Them wedges are like nuts, man. They're
No, they're like giant potatoes.
they're
Yeah.
like half a potato.
Those
Yeah,
wedges
a
don't
quarter.
don't necessarily need anything to dip in. They're great.
I like ranch dressing
That's
personally.
yeah, that's a good one.
But that's because I'm from the Midwest, right?
That's true.
Midwestern classy. Me.
Yeah.
Give me that.
And some Dorothy Lynch on your salad.
All right. So, other food controversial thing that I've heard recently, though.
Let's hear it.
Mayonnaise on your burger. Like mayonnaise
No.
is the only condiment.
Dude, that's
on a burger.
What?
totally
As the
normal.
only
Gross.
condiment?
That's
Why?
totally normal.
No, disgusting. I will send a burger
That is
back
not
if they put
gross.
mayonnaise on it.
Why? I mean,
Have
I
you
can-
ever ate at Wendy's? Because they all have mayonnaise.
I
And
can-
I order it without.
I
you-
can.
you're-
no,
you're
hang on,
wrong.
hang on.
Whopper.
I can handle it with that if it's not the only condiment.
Like
but if you're
mayonnaise and
talking about
ketchup?
like, I mean, no, I mean like if you've got like a specific thing, the way that like
Okay.
the Whopper is set up, the way that Wendy's burgers are set up, but just
Are you
mayonnaise.
saying just
Like-
mayonnaise, or are you
Well, I
saying
guess like no ketchup, just mayo. Like
do
just
that.
mayo plus like
Gross.
maybe like lettuce or tomatoes,
So-
pickles.
Okay, but here's the
But-
deal for me. I'm not going to be a good person to weigh in on this because I hate mayo on as a condiment in general.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah,
I
because
wouldn't.
you're a Cool Whip guy.
A Cool Whip.
Or I mean,
What
what's
am I
that-
putting on
what
my
is that?
sandwiches,
Sorry, not
Jeremy?
Cool Whip.
You are
Miracle.
eating the best
It's
sandwiches.
It's the
Cool
magical
Whip
stuff.
sandwiches.
Miracle Whip. It's both gross.
Do we have
Whatever.
Cool Whip? Can we make some Cool Whip sandwiches in here right now? I'm really hungry
I
for
want,
that.
I want some ham and cheese and Cool Whip.
This sounds like something that we
Sorry,
need to try
I don't like that
at Extra
fake
Life
stuff.
this year.
I'm sorry.
So Miracle Whip isn't fake. It's just more like a.
no, it
it's-
is. It's
wait.
in the name. It's
What?
It's like, hey, this isn't mayonnaise.
It's a miracle.
It's Miracle Whip.
But what is mayonnaise?
We just mix things up.
An instrument.
Mayonnaise.
It's eggs.
Good mayonnaise would be eggs and oil. That's all it is whipped eggs and oil together.
I just don't like
With-
it.
I don't.
I
Either.
like eggs, but I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like Miracle Whip either.
So-
Cool Whip I like, but not on my sandwiches.
Because Miracle Whip is oil and oil.
Well, so it's like it's got a little more sweetness to it too, like, and it's got
Yeah.
zip.
Yeah.
It's got zip. That's what's important is the zip. But here's the thing. I think I found this to be true. Is it's what you ate when you grew up,
Oh, that's probably
and
absolutely
so in
true.
my house. Like my mom at all sandwiches, even like in pasta salads and stuff, it was always Miracle Whip.
We
and
didn't
so
have either.
like that's just wait. Your parents
We
never
didn't
had
really-
any mayonnaise or
No,
did you
not
guys not
really.
eat
What about
sandwiches?
sandwich
we had sandwiches.
spread?
They were just we
you
used
put on your
butter.
Butter?
Oh, see,
are
we
you?
did that for
Or
traveling.
just like
Are
mustard.
you from Great Britain?
We did
No, I'm
butter for
from
traveling
Colorado.
sandwiches. Like, because, we couldn't stop for fast
the
food.
traveling sandwich.
No, I'm serious. So if we were going on a trip that was more than like 2 hours long, we were staying out of town.
This is fascinating.
We would have a cooler.
Jeremy ate different sandwiches when he traveled.
It's true, because what would happen is we would get a loaf of bread, we would get bologna, and then we would have butter and sometimes cheese if we were lucky. But
Lucky?
because
Okay.
well, yeah,
Cheese was an expense. I get that.
yeah,
Yes,
and
I
so
suppose.
Hashtag poor people life. I
yeah,
get it.
and so butter lasted longer without being cooled.
Yeah, that's true.
So they could.
That is true.
So my mom would pre-butter the bread every other slice. So
Oh,
that way, all you do
in
is
the
all you had to
bag.
do. So you put them back in the bag, pull
Your
two
mom.
slices apart, slap
Man.
in your bologna and your cheese, put back together, and hand it to one of the 4 kids.
So
I mean, it was a quantity,
Wow.
thing. So
Butter-
But if we were lucky, we got pickle loaf, and sandwich spread.
You know what I remember eating as a kid?
Did you have sandwich spread? You know what
Whoa.
sandwich spread is, right?
It's
What
that
is sandwich
weird-
spread? Is that
It's
weird
like
cheese
mayo.
ball
It's like
stuff?
it's like pinkish colored mayo that has
Like
like
meat and cheese in
it has like no, it has like pickles in it and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It looks like bologna,
and-
but it's
and
got
pimentos.
yeah. So the only
Or olives
the only
and
sandwich I
pimentos, that's
remember
what's in it.
eating was like at church like potlucks where they had
My mom probably made
where
them.
they had it was with that it was butter, ham, and pickles, and that's what I remember like from like church potlucks. That would be like a sandwich that it would
sounds
be
all right.
and that was fine. But I'd never go out of my way to put butter as a condiment on a sandwich.
Oh,
like that's
no.
just
I mean,
weird.
unless you're going to then heat it up and put gobs of
You know-
cheese in the middle,
Yeah.
but the butter's on the outside.
Yeah, that's still like
Yeah.
that's like a
That's exactly
panini
a grilled
or a grilled
cheese.
cheese. But
Yeah.
I like now what I really like in a sandwich. I'll put ranch dressing on a sandwich as a condiment instead
Yep.
of mayo. I'll put Italian
Yep.
dressing on a sandwich instead of as a condiment. Like that's delicious.
Instead of oil and vinegar.
Yeah, like I'll do like an
or like
Italian-
a sub type deal.
Yeah.
See, I won't
Some
necessarily.
Coca-Cola or whatever.
I won't
the meat is.
necessarily
Did you just
send
say
back any.
Coca-Cola?
No, Coca-Cola.
He said
What's that?
Coca-Cola.
No, I said Coca-Cola. Isn't that what
Just
it's
like a
called?
mama made it a Coca-Cola meat.
It's Coca-Cola, isn't it? The
Capicola.
Capicola.
Yeah.
He's got Coca-Cola and Cool Whip sandwiches.
Whatever.
Words.
That sounds like a trailer park sandwich. I had a friend when I lived in the trailer park growing up. I had a friend named Drake. And I wondered if he grew up to be the rapper, but I think
Probably.
I think he was Ethiopian, so I don't think
You lived close to Canada, closer
I
than
did.
any of us did.
So no, but he would when he'd bring a lunch, I always felt bad for him because I don't think his mom would pack his lunch for him to come over to my house and spend the day. I think he would have to, and it was a bread bag, like a loaf of bread bag. She must
yeah.
have saved him. Okay, but that and I've heard of people taking a sandwich like their lunch in that or whatever.
I did
Yeah.
that a few times.
But here's what
lot.
was in it. There was no bread in it.
Okay.
It was just like a handful of potato chips thrown in there.
Nice.
And
Because
a,
you had to take it out of the full
and a-
bag because it's
yeah.
cheaper that way.
and a cold hot dog.
In the bag with the chips?
Just
Oh, that is wrong.
Free Willy.
That is
Oh, he-
wrong.
You know, going
Got to wrap that thing up.
that hot dog was going commando with the Frito Lays.
Oh, those were soggy chips. Oh, man.
It's just in a bread bag.
Hot dog flavored potato
It's
chips.
just like he brought his Sara Lee sack lunch over, and I'm just like,
Yeah, he definitely packed that lunch himself. His mom didn't pack it
you know,
for
we
him.
didn't, and he brought it every time. Every time it was like a lunch thing.
That was his
He'd
deal.
like bring this thing, and as a kid, you don't realize you're poor, like that. Or I mean, maybe saying poor is like insulting, but like
I
very,
mean, I realized we were.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't though when you're real young. Like when
Oh,
you
no,
know,
no, no,
like,
because you
this
don't
was,
see the
This was
difference.
like kindergarten, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like you don't realize it. You just. But even I looked at that and I went, "He poor."
Yeah, like, Mama, get this boy some food.
Maybe he likes hot dogs and chips, and that was what he did. Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, my.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Oh,
but
my.
you know, Drake, if you're out there,
Yeah.
friend
Please
me on
write in.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if you still eat hot dogs with your Frito Lays.
That is-
and your-
So I will give you. I got a great hot tip for you because you brought up saving bread bags, right?
Okay.
You got kids, Eric and Kyle. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday,
Maybe
yeah.
not. I don't know what his life choice.
of it.
I don't know what your life choices are going to be. Kuipers, this goes for you too.
Someday.
Here's the
He's
deal.
already
Save
got
your,
3
Save
kids.
your bread bags, all right?
Why?
Because you put them inside their snow boots, outside of their socks.
Oh my gosh.
And now their socks never get wet. So that would happen at home. We would put our sock on. We would put our bread bag on our foot, and then you take a rubber band and so it stays up above your ankle, right?
Kyle.
And then you put your boot on. So then even if your boot gets wet,
Kyle.
your feet don't.
Kyle's like, well, this is the exact same reason I don't have kids. I I save my bread bags and I use them.
Yeah, exactly.
This is important information.
All I can picture is little Jeremy with his beard. By the way, little Jeremy has a beard. He's
Actually in 5th grade I had a mustache.
grabbing some Sara Lee bags and pulling them all the way up to his knees.
We couldn't afford Sara Lee.
Whatever. Okay, Wonder Bread? What was it?
Yep, it was Wonder Bread.
Oh my gosh.
And now I hate white bread. I can't stand it. It's gross.
I will say I think that my parents sent us out like once or twice with the bag and rubber bands out into the snow.
Like a grocery,
Yeah,
like a grocery bag.
Yeah, a grocery bag.
Yeah, but the bread bags are perfect because of the size and the feet of little children.
I think that after like once or twice, they were just like, I don't even care about this. Just go get your socks
It's because they
wet.
didn't care about you.
No, it was
You
just
could have lost your toes.
the amount
man.
of hand.
You could have lost your toes.
I wasn't going to lose my toes. I wasn't going outside when it was that
We
cold.
know this is the reason why your mom didn't put bread bags on your feet as a kid.
He doesn't have gangrene. He had
What are
gout.
you talking about?
He just called.
I don't know. You just have the limp every now and then.
And you have the limp permanently, so back off.
Facts. That is facts. All right.
So you guys were talking about pimento loaf. It got me thinking of when I was a kid. My mom would feed me brown swagger.
What on earth is that?
And Kuipers, if you can find an image of it, it's like.
Did you ever get Spam?
You'll see it
Like
at the
fried
store.
Spam?
Yes.
You'll see it at the store, and it's like
we'll circle back.
It's a round. It's like a round meat log. It looks like summer sausage, kind of, but it's got like a mustard yellow wrapper on it, and it's just brown, and it's like liverwurst,
nasty
kind
brown.
of.
Yeah, it's like almost a blood sausage.
No, it's
but
not blood sausage. No, it's
But
like
it's
pasty.
thick and
What was it
pasty.
called?
Yeah,
Braunschweiger.
I bet it is.
Braunschweiger.
I bet it's similar to a blood sausage.
I don't know how it's spelled. Sorry. I think it's got a W in it. Twitch says, I take it Eric doesn't like bread bags. I just
didn't do the bread bags.
No, she says,
Yeah.
didn't do. No,
Didn't do
I just never heard of saving bread bags even. That was never
Yeah,
a
we
thing.
never saved bread
I
bags.
saved grocery bags. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Teddy says, hola, welcome Teddy. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us. No, we're just talking about weird things that we did as children, mainly food.
Mainly food, yeah.
So you guys
weird things that Jeremy's doing now.
So you guys did Spam. That was a good
fried
one.
Spam is amazing.
Okay, I can't do the Spam thing.
No,
either.
you try it. Fry it. So
With
here's what you
ketchup,
do.
right?
Here's what you. No,
I'm good.
Gross.
What?
No. Okay.
What?
Here's what you do. This is you get a can, you cut it and slice it a little bit thinner, and you just fry it in a frying pan. It's really good.
Till it's nice and
till it's nice and brown, crisp.
Yeah.
Crisp around the edges. It's almost like a ham bacon.
It's too weird and processed. I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's delicious.
Braunschweiger is
It's
spelled Braunschweiger.
It's the worst of the livers. It's pork liver sausage.
Yeah, how disgusting!
That's
That almost made me throw up.
Chicken liver is pretty gross, but pork liver is.
That's gotta. I mean, ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
Listen, you know what pigs eat, right? Anything.
I
You know
know,
what the
I get
liver
it.
does, right?
Yeah, I
It's
know.
the worst of the worst.
I'm aware of the anatomy.
That's why it's so flavorful.
It's got all the flavors in it. So Braunschweiger, there it is. There's a good picture of it.
Yeah, and it's like because
Oh.
it's got liver in it. It's almost like a pate pressed into a tube.
It looks like it could be a bologna, but it is not that consistency.
No.
It's mushy. Like it's like
It's pate.
It's
It's
like a
like pate.
pasty type. Yeah, like
I think I'm gonna be sick.
you could
that
probably mud your sheetrock with it. Like it's Whoa.
Mutiny Teddy says worst of the worst.
Yeah. Good one.
Betwitched said don't ever have Spam at a wedding reception. My family did.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Condolences.
condolences.
No, it's just you grow up and you look back and go, wow, things were different.
Now everyone's
Teddy.
vegetarian.
Worst of the worst.
Everyone's vegetarian.
No,
I'm not.
that's something
yet.
I never heard anybody in like remotely close to me saying. And
What?
vegetarian.
Braunschweiger? Oh.
Like when I was growing up, and I mean you hear that and vegan all the time now. So times are different. It's probably because kids were forced to eat this kind of stuff when they were little.
Yeah.
True story.
Ugh.
Yes. That's true, Teddy. I am pasty and sour. Just like Braunschweiger.
They say you are what you eat.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So how did we ended up asking Jeremy what he was doing, and somehow we went from that to him dipping potatoes in potatoes.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
Kentucky
what-
Fried
Kentucky.
Chicken.
I forgot how we got here.
That's how we got here.
And that actually now makes complete sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I love this show so much.
Okay, so Kentucky was good. You flew in, you saw the water.
I did.
Did you do any? Is there anything else you did other than your travels?
I have not
Anything-
had time to do anything else.
Okay.
Have you taken a shower at
I bought a
least?
new firearm. That's okay to say on here, right?
No, we do not condone.
We do not condone
the purchase.
Is it
of,
against
the
Twitch
legal
to
purchase.
show them?
I think.
Probably.
I don't know. Let's not risk it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're not
okay.
risking
we don't need
that.
to brag about your gun.
If you want to know,
It's on
find him on
Twitter.
social
Yeah.
medias.
He tweeted it. I'm sure.
He's very proud of it.
I mean, I'm very proud of it.
That makes
too,
me
Jeremy.
more
Very-
redneck,
you're
right?
Very, have
Yes.
a gun.
Yeah. You're the one that
Jeremy's
keeps calling
got
yourself.
a gun.
You're the one that keeps calling yourself redneck. Okay.
I did that, didn't I, Eric?
All right. You come here for all the Pearl Jam references. That's what you get. No, Kyle, what have you been up to then?
Not a lot. I did not go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I did not go to Kentucky.
Did you have any fried chicken of any sort? Nuggets, tenders?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Cool. Good.
Had some pizza over the weekend. Found a site. If you're in our Discord channel, I posted this weekend. There's a site out there. I think it's called Raise, and they sell you gift cards.
Kyle's trying to get more money out of this.
No. I'm leading up to.
Are they paying you?
I got some, and they were a little extra off. So, I got some new games on Switch because
Did you get good games?
I got some decent ones. I picked up Minute. I haven't tried playing that at all. Have you played Minute at all? Is it a pretty good game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Minute to Win It
No, it's not Minute
because
to
they
Win It.
have that game.
No. I also picked up Beat Cop.
Minute to win it on the Switch. Pull out all the Kleenexes and have your mom yell at you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great game. Let's do it.
Beat Cop. Cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
looked
like
fun.
it's got some weird stuff in it. I mean, it's supposed to be set in the 80s. You basically walk around and write tickets
That sounds
and
nice.
try to avoid getting in trouble with the mob and the gangs. And
So the first thing you do is try to get in trouble, right?
At least
I mean, if you're playing, yes.
so at least it's
if
in
I'm
the,
playing.
At
no.
least it's in the 80s, so you can kill people without other people filming it with their phones.
Right. So there's a little bit of racism in it that's kind of weird. Like people are walking around saying weird racist things.
That's not okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like it.
Are they making a?
But wait, was it racist in the 80s to say it?
I mean, it's Jeremy.
culturally appropriate?
Jeremy. I mean, yeah, you're right. It was probably less frowned upon. Doesn't mean that it's more okay now, but
True. No, it'd be less okay now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting game. You've got X amount of tickets that you got to write every day and put on cars. And then there's all kinds of weird little tasks that you'll get in the middle of the day, like arresting people that are shoplifting, or there's people in the mafia that'll ask you to go deliver packages, or this or that, and it's fun. It's very much a linear, like you've got one block that you're running across.
So it's like 2D
Yeah, it's very like pixel
pixel art.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's from the 80s, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the two games you picked up then?
Yeah, those are the two that I picked up. I didn't have anything else on my list that was within what I'd gotten, and none of them were like I need these. So I kind of am holding off to see if there's something else that pops up in the next.
So there's a game I want to that is an indie game, but I'm saving it because we have an email.
Okay.
Spoiler alert: we actually got an
We
email.
actually got an email.
So stick around.
Hey, Kuipers, can you grab me a drink?
Anything else, Kyle?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I watched a few more episodes of the Umbrella Academy.
Haven't finished it yet.
Haven't finished it yet.
Question: do they use a lot of My Kim in the soundtrack? Or
No, I don't think so. They've got, I mean, some of the stuff that seems like it's scored kind of sounds like it's written in that vein, and I think it's because he worked on the score, or was involved at least in some of the approval and everything. So I think
it's not like instrumental versions of their songs.
No, it's not instrumental versions of their songs.
Are
but
you
I mean,
sure?
it sounds like it would be written by them. You know what I mean? Like, but they've got a lot of other pop culture music that's in there. I mean, there's one scene in one of the movies or one of the episodes with Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" that they used in the trailer for Hardcore Henry, which that game itself or that song itself, I don't think anyone would have had any thought when that came out that it would be used in so many action scenes and sequences that just fits perfectly. But
cool. Yeah, I'd like to watch that. I haven't. Given it a
Teddy
shot.
says the ending of the Umbrella Academy. Don't tell me.
Yeah. I just saw that. The reason I ask is because I saw that My Kim hit the top 200 Billboard again. Their album from 2004.
Wow.
Because of that show. So it must just be because they're back in the kind of the culture's psyche. But yeah, I was really surprised to hear that.
I've heard from some people that the comic was not nearly as good as the show is.
Really?
At least the first portion of it, I think.
I can't imagine the comic can convey the depth that the show can.
Well, and the other thing, too, was that the comic was written, that's like the first thing that he wrote. And so I think that from what I've heard, some of the
time to hone it in.
Some of the stuff that, because I think that there's a new collection that's coming out for the third volume of it. Oh, okay. And from what I've heard, that stuff is better because it is one of those things that he's gotten better as a writer and storyteller. So
that makes sense.
I'm really interested in reading the comics just because I know that the artist has done some stuff that I've read that's really cool. And I've heard that visually the comic is fantastic too. So,
all right, I'd like to check that show out. A show that I have checked out recently, and I just finished it this last week. Was
tell me about it.
Pin 15 on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, and it's pretty great.
That harkens back to jokes as a child.
Pin 15.
Pretty sure it does. Yep.
Yeah, that's penis. But
no, what I'm trying to ask is it also a period piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it takes place in I think the year 2000 or maybe 1999. I can't remember.
2000.
2000. Okay, yeah.
That's what Wikipedia says.
It's right around that
That's
time.
on the Netflix, right?
No, I just said it was a Hulu original. I just said that
I
a
wasn't
second
listening
ago.
to
He was
that
too
part.
busy trying to figure out how to say that it was penis without saying penis.
I just took the wind out of his sails and
I
said
didn't even.
Never mind.
It's okay, Jeremy.
Never mind.
It's okay.
Anyways, it's a Hulu thing. The premise of it is it follows these two girls that are in middle school, and they're both played by adults. they're 30-year-old women who play this role, and everything just harkens back to that era in such a uncanny, goes from heartwarming to uncomfortable so quick, so many times, and it just brings you back to growing up in that era, and also just. Being a teenager, obviously I can't relate to being a teenage female, but
we weren't judging.
But I'm just saying, just that idea of being, a teenager and kind of just finding yourself and the awkwardness and all of that stuff. They are so good. I don't know who these actresses are. I don't know where they came from. I don't even know if maybe they created the show or if they were just hired to be actors in the show. I feel like it's a passion project. So but
I'll find out for you.
They're so good.
Kyle's on it.
They're so good at being these young middle school kids that they you just kind of forget that you're watching adults play middle schoolers. It does get super uncomfortable though when they have scenes with boys, and you're just like, what are they gonna do? And so the best part of it is there's a scene where they're she's with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's this kid actor who's real awkward and just great. They go in for a kiss, right? And it's this disgusting, sloppy tongue. He's doing like lizard tongue to her and like all this stuff. And but you think, oh, that's terrible. She's like violating this small boy. But what's great is when they go for the close up, it's obviously like a man because there's like stubble on his face and stuff.
So they're pushing the fact that no, she didn't kiss the little boy.
Yeah, so they like make it very clear she's not making out with a child. Like it's just so it's stuff like that. And then like the soundtrack is just amazing because it's like all those songs from that era, and it's I don't know. There's so much about it that there are some very uncomfortable scenes that like are exploring like going through puberty and sexuality and all that stuff, and it does not pull any punches. It pulls zero punches. It just throws it at you, and it's great though. Definitely, if you get it. I mean, it's 10 episodes, and they're like.
So you're saying
20,
it's
30 minutes.
education for teenage children?
No, I wouldn't say
It's
that.
on Hulu.
I wouldn't go that far. Why would Hulu? Is Hulu an education like platform?
No, of course not.
Well, then why'd you say it like that?
I'm just saying it's accessible to children.
It's on Hulu.
It's accessible.
It's educational because it's on Hulu.
I'm just saying it's accessible. It's accessible.
He's right. It is accessible. Mutiny Teddy says, "Wait, was that Amazon Prime, right?"
No,
Yeah.
it's Hulu.
He says it gets real weird when she discovers guys.
Yeah.
And it does look like the two of them are the writers,
Okay,
or creators of the show.
I figured
so-
it had to be something like that because just
Yeah.
the way that they're involved in
and
it.
their names are their names on
Oh,
the
in
show.
real life.
Their first name is anyway. So
It's really well done, and it's a short like jaunt through Hulu TV. So I don't know if they'll bring more of it back
On what?
on Hulu
platform?
TV.
there is this.
Okay.
There is a
Hulus.
platform called Hulu.
Okay.
It's a green.
Because it's episodic. It's not on Hulu movies.
their
Yeah,
logo is
right.
green.
Screen. Also, I wanted to really briefly mention the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I forgot that came out today. I didn't
You know,
watch
it
it.
came out like yesterday, I think.
I thought it was just a teaser yesterday.
No, it was a full
Okay.
trailer yesterday. I'm pretty
Then
sure. If that was a teaser, that was like a really long teaser. But anyways, it looks great. It's got Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and a lot of we've talked about it on the show before. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
I'm excited.
I
can't
think
wait.
I think we're all fans of Tarantino
I
on this
just-
pan. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. Kuipers maybe not, but
Kuipers, you into Tarantino films?
Haven't really watched all that many, so no.
sounds like
opinion.
we need a
Okay.
movie night.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna make Kuipers watch
Totally do.
all of the Tarantino films in one night
in
Let's
order.
do it.
right?
in chronological order.
Yeah.
Can we do that for Extra Life this
Yeah,
year?
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just no one at home can watch. There's a thing where you can sync up Netflix, but I don't think that
Yeah.
those are. I think
No,
Pulp
we'll just have
Fiction is on
Kuipers in the corner, constantly watching, and we'll check in with him every now
that.
and
How are you liking it, Kuipers? You don't have to run the show this year. You're just gonna watch these movies.
then. It's like done.
No, but it looks exciting. I always, I was a little bit like I feel like his last film was not his best work. Like The Hateful Eight, wasn't it? The Hateful Eight, right?
Yeah, that was his last one.
It just wasn't as good as other stuff. Like I felt like it was a little.
It
weaker.
wasn't as good, but it was. I still don't think it was his worst.
I kind of
Maybe
do.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't seen all of them. I think
I thought it was exactly what I expected it to be.
I feel like it was my least favorite of his films. But anyways, I hope that this looks really great. We won't watch the trailer. You can go find that yourself. I did want to real quick. Jeremy and I played a little Division 2. I know Jeremy's been playing some of it. I've been playing it.
I've played a little.
Kyle's played a little. It's more Division.
One of these days we'll play
It
together.
definitely is more Division.
If you thought, if you had any illusion that it was not going to be more Division, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's more Division.
It's
I
like
think,
sometimes I hate myself because I go, I know why I'm playing this, to get the loot.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of upset that that's why I'm playing this.
and to close car
Hey,
doors.
it's cheaper than going to.
I haven't
it's-
been doing that.
It's cheaper than going to a casino. That's
true.
really what it's about.
True,
you
true,
know?
true.
True.
But
Yeah.
there you get cherries and oranges and apples.
What?
on the-
Oh,
on the
yeah.
I thought you meant like they just walk around the casino bringing you.
No,
would
they
you like
bring
a cherry
liquor,
and an apple,
Kyle.
sir?
They
Would
bring you liquor. Just saying.
How about some strawberries?
You could probably get those. You could from the buffet. Chocolate dipped.
No, but it's good. I think it's a good game. It's not that. It doesn't feel that new. It doesn't feel like they changed that much. I think they really just honed in on it.
They
And-
fixed a few of the upgrade things. I kind of like the way it works
Yeah.
now, where you unlock them versus finding parts and stuff like that.
I think the upgrades for your guns and
It's a
different
little
things
smoother.
like that.
You're not past playing it yet, are you?
Oh, me? No,
Okay,
no.
good.
So here's the deal. Another game that I wanted to talk about has like just captured my imagination, and unlike anything in the history of games in a long time. Like
Battlefield 5 Firestorm.
No,
Oh.
Satisfactory. It is an indie game that's in early access.
Right, you were talking about that last week.
Only on the
PC
Epic Store.
Or
Only on the Epic Store. That's
Only
it.
on the Epic
oh,
Store.
it's
That's
only
it.
PC.
Only Epic
Store
Store,
PC.
yeah.
Man, I gotta download it.
So-
It'd be a great lunch game.
It's one of those things where the problem is with the lunch game, you're going to lose 8 hours. Like you're going to have an
then
8 hour
I can't
lunch.
do that. Yeah.
Because it is a
It's
game.
a great hotel game.
It's a game that will suck you in so quick that you will just lose track of time. It is a time machine.
oh man,
I-
maybe I'm too busy for that game. I can't do it.
I played the alpha, and it was really great. And what's great is that it let you keep your save file from the alpha to play on this. So I just got to keep going from where I'm at. Now everything you do,
That's actually interesting because
it's very rare that happens.
rare. It used to be
Yeah.
more common.
Yeah.
But that's basically them saying you're gonna love this game so much. We don't care if you don't have to play back through whatever you did previously.
Teddy, I'm not going to argue with that. Real quick, Teddy says he's given The Division a 7. I'd say it's a 7 or 8. Yeah, I'd give you that.
But I mean, there's not a lot out right now, so
But it's fun. It's a 8 or 7 is a good game. That's
Sure.
It's just not like
I
stellar.
think he just
out of
said
this
because
world.
it's getting 9 out of 10
Yeah.
with most places.
Oh, he doesn't even. He
thinks it's a 7.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Or it's not even a 7.
No, but anyway, Satisfactory. So I've talked about it a little bit before, but the thing is,
It's very satisfactory.
you made that joke last time too. Good one. There was, but it's just this thing of
Groundhog's Day.
building it's all automated systems that you're building. You start out mining for things kind of like any other game, like that, like a kind of a survival-ish game. But it just turns into this mess of conveyor belts. Like if you look at the world I have right now, it's insane to look at because I did not like. Some people have these organized factories where
Is
everything.
it individual play only?
You can do multiplayer if you want. There's up to 4 people.
Can we build something in the sky?
No. But there's
I want on your server if we can.
No.
but there's like the
Stop it.
So you could I've seen people who have made these immaculate, organized, beautiful factories.
And you haven't.
And I just started from the beginning. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just keep adding on to it. And now it's just this mess of spaghetti.
Well, now you got to try and fix it.
And I just got conveyor belts running everywhere, and it's not very efficient. And then,
But you're having fun with it.
so here's the one thing I wanted to mention that where I really just was like, this game is so smart, and I'd feel like people are not talking about it, and it needs more attention. But the thing is, so coal, right? I needed coal. I had all these other resources, but I needed coal.
Sure.
I had to go out. I built a tractor-like thing that could carry stuff, and I drove out searching for coal. I found coal. I had to mine it. You can build these truck stations for trucks or for tractors, and then you have the conveyor belt where the coal is being mined. It transfers the coal to the truck station. Then you get in the tractor and you turn on record, and you record a route for the truck to take,
And
or
it
the
just
tractor
loops?
to take. And so you drive it back to your home base, and then you drive it back to your the place where you found the coal, and then you hit save, and then you're done. And that truck just keeps going back and forth the whole time and just bringing coal back. It's such a cool idea, and you can just watch it, and it warms your heart just to watch the little truck automatically just drive around and go get your coal
It's
for
the
you.
future.
It's just
I mean,
such a
automation
cool game.
is the future.
It's such a cool game.
True.
It is just and there's all this exploring you can do. It's got this whole No Man's Sky aspect of there's just all kinds of aliens and plant life, and you don't know what they do. You don't know how they're going to kill you, or if they're going to kill you, or if they're friendly.
Huh.
There's friendly little dragon dogs. It is Kyle. It is satisfactory.
Do you think that is there any word that it may come to any other platforms?
I mean, it's in early access, so anything's possible. I would say
It could be something that's in early access only on Epic, and once it gets released, it could be.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure that they would love that if it was that successful. I think for me, I personally would want it only on PC because of the building aspect to it.
Sure.
Mouse and keyboard makes it very
Sure.
easy to navigate all that stuff.
I was only curious because I don't have PC,
Oh,
so
yeah, no, I get that.
that's why.
But it's a really good game.
Um,
We have not yet. We've been doing this whole show, and we still haven't talked about the Apex Legends Battle Pass.
I still
in this
need to
season
buy
one. I'm wondering if you do need to.
Is it
I
not
wanted
good?
to see what you thought,
Is it
Eric.
not good?
Now, here's what I've played a lot of Fortnite, right? Mm-hmm. I've played hours and hours of Fortnite.
Right.
One thing that they do really well is their battle pass.
Sure.
Like they have really revolutionized that. I mean, it kind of was a thing that came from like Dota and other games like that, but they've really like nailed it. And the one thing that they give you are like these objectives to kind of tick off.
This is not that.
So it's like, hey, get three kills with a certain gun, or like do this or whatever. And
Sure.
and it's like none of that is in this battle pass.
See, and that's in PUBG's too.
Yeah. PUBG
Their
kind of took
Game
that
Pass
from,
or whatever. Yeah.
Battle Pass, right? I mean,
They call it.
Game Pass is Xbox's.
They don't call it Battle
Yeah.
Pass. They call it. I don't know what
Are you
to call it.
sure?
It doesn't matter.
Pass battle.
I don't play it that much.
But anyways, it like there's a bunch of rewards you can get. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a $10 version and like a $30-ish version.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
gives you 25 levels.
So the $30 version, I thought maybe you got something cooler with it, and I didn't really read it. I just saw, I get extra 25 levels.
So you got the third.
I
and
just-
hey, I like the game.
I'm like, I'm
so-
going to give them some money. It was free, whatever.
Sure.
I'll get this thing. Maybe I'll get some extra stuff. No, you just get the extra 25 levels. So
Now,
here's
when you say 25 levels, what do you mean? by
Or
that?
25
Like,
tiers in the battle
You get a
pass.
few things with that.
Okay.
So like,
You get more of those of whatever the yellow currency is, so you can buy the new.
well, no,
character.
you don't though. So here's how it works. You do, but you don't. So what it is you have 100 tiers. That's how most battle passes work. You have tiers, and
Sure.
every tier that you get to through XP, you get a reward, like a skin or or something. Now, the one part is that this game doesn't have great stuff in it right yet. Like it just like you get like a catchphrase or something, and it's just kind of
Sure.
silly and like not anything I'm interested in.
Right.
But then it has like all the it does give you those coins that Jeremy's talking about, right? The like whatever the coins they're called, the Apex coins
Yeah.
in the battle pass. And it'll give you like 50 of them randomly. So, what I'm trying to say is if you're going to do it, do the $9 one.
That's all.
$10 one.
I didn't
Don't-
realize there was a $30.
Don't do the
one.
$30 one.
No. You also get 2,800 of the yellow with the-
Apex coins?
yeah, with
No,
the,
you don't. That's
Yeah, you do.
No. That's how much it costs. Is
Yeah, but then
2,800.
they
No,
give yes they do. They give you that as well. You need to look because I got them.
you got
So it's
28
basically you're buying the coins and you get the battle pass.
Well, okay, because it is in the what I'm trying
And
to
the
say.
base one is 950 coins cost, but you get 1,000 coins, and you're in the battle pass.
Okay, but you get. I think you might be misunderstanding it. Maybe I'm wrong though. So the way I understood
All I
it,
know is I have 1,000 yellow coins left after I bought the character, and I didn't buy any coins. I just bought the bigger battle pass.
you can't just buy the battle pass.
Well, you have to
You
buy
have to
coins
buy
to buy the
coins
battle
to buy
pass.
the
Yeah,
battle.
well, yeah, but
So the way it looked is that in the battle pass there's 1,000
Maybe I
coins.
did it
There's
wrong.
1,000
There's
coins
1,000
to get.
coins.
So that's why I'm saying if you buy the
oh,
$10,
so
Right.
maybe, yeah.
so if you buy the $10 one, you make it back in battle pass coins.
if you
pretty
get
much.
all 100 levels.
Yeah, if you go through all the levels. Then it's the same. So if you buy the $30 one, you get $10 back too. I don't think you actually get
Okay,
an
maybe that's
additional
what- I don't know. Maybe
2,800.
that's
So,
what it was.
but anyways, it's
Oh, but that's what it was. In order to buy that one, you had to buy the Apex coins, and the only way to get enough Apex coins
was
was to
to
buy
buy-
a bigger chunk.
well, you had to buy a $10 and a $20.
or buy
a
the $40.
Yeah,
I think I just bought the 40.
So that's why you thought
That's
you
what
got
it was.
more,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
didn't.
They
So-
tricked me because they put it in the middle of the other two,
Yeah.
and I
Right.
didn't even think buy the two smaller ones.
So when you say it unlocks the first 25 levels, it means that you don't have to do the first 25 levels. You're already at the 25th.
Yeah.
and
So
you
they-
get,
and they
you
give
get
you
all
all
the
those-
perks,
yeah.
and you
for
get
that.
everything that you would have unlocked
Yeah.
to that point.
And
Okay.
don't you also get a cup like three
you get
of
3
your characters
skins
get
for 3 characters.
that you can't
Yep.
get otherwise?
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I honestly, it's kind of underwhelming, but I also feel like maybe it was a little bit rushed out because of the popularity of the game and people were like in
It's a way for
demand
them to make money, I guess. But
And I'm glad.
have you tried the new character?
And you do get the new character with the battle.
No, you do not.
You don't.
That's an
Okay.
extra amount. That's an extra 750 coins. So the way I'm looking at it is I'm not going to get it until I have made up that money. I'm not going to pay extra to get him because like
Right.
and plus there's another currency in the game, the orangey
right
thing. tokens, something tokens, battle tokens, Apex tokens.
The Legend tokens, I believe that he costs 12,000
of
points.
those. Yeah,
Yep.
and I'm close to that already. So I was like, I'm just gonna. You get those every time you level up. So I'm like, I'll just buy it that way. Anyways, I don't know if it's worth it. We don't need to spend
as far as the especially the
$30.
larger one.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was the larger one. I was like, sweet, I can get this for $10. So I still probably will get it once I actually fire that back up again.
I think it's worth that $10. I would. Yeah, I don't.
I just need to. I haven't played it in a while and need to get back in.
It's a good game. All right, let's read some news. We got. We're going through it tonight.
Yeah, Google, they came out swinging the other day, didn't they?
They're trying to end the world of gaming as we know
I really feel torn with what they are doing with it. It's called Stadia.
Google Stadia. This is a story from The Verge. It says Google Stadia, the latest updates on cloud gaming platform. It was announced, when was that? Yesterday? The day before?
Tuesday, I believe.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes, Tuesday. That's right.
And it sounds like it's just a streaming platform that is built into cloud infrastructure. It's going to be something that it sounds like they're trying to get it to be something that you can use on any device, basically. Correct? Is that from what I've read?
I don't think they're trying. They will.
That's kind
what
of everything Google does, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't announced a business platform for it yet, so we don't know exactly how we're going to get the game. Like if you're going to pay for them, if you're going to get if it's going to streaming service. Yeah. That's probably going to be E3 when they announce that, because they said more news coming in the
So is
summer.
this the extension of that one game that they?
Yeah, well, it wasn't an extension of that, but they did. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was the one that
Project Stream.
That was a thing I was
but
part
you think
of.
this is the next iteration of that?
No, that is what this is.
That's okay.
That was their first test.
But they didn't call it this.
No, they called it Project Stream
Yeah.
because they were trying to see if it was something they could deliver, which it sounds like for the most part they did.
Yeah.
It was. I got in, but I never ended up playing.
But it was playable.
I think
for the right game.
And it wasn't, the thing that was interesting is that they announced that they had the guy from Bethesda on stage and announced that Doom Eternal is going to be launching or coming to this platform. And that's a very much more Twitch-based game. Like you're very, it's not as slow as an Assassin's Creed. So I think you would notice it. Now, one thing I would like to point out about it that I think is really interesting about the controller, they're pushing their own proprietary controller. So you're not buying a console, but you'd buy their controller. And what's different about it is that most of the time, if you're playing on a streaming device, right? If you're playing on when I played it on my PC or on a laptop, when I tested it, I had to plug in a controller. Mm-hmm. So my controller is plugged into the computer, and then from there, when I push the button, it's going back to the server, blah, blah, blah. It's running through that. The thing that's unique about their controller is that it's actually syncing with Wi-Fi. It doesn't go to your device. It connects to the service directly through Wi-Fi.
Right.
So your controller...
So you're not getting any lag with it.
Yeah, so the latency there starts to be cut down dramatically again because it's communicating directly to the server. So that definitely made it go, made me kind of go,
but wait a minute. So that's not very portable, though.
Oh, 100%.
Why would it not be portable?
What if you're not connected to Wi-Fi?
Well, you probably tether it to your phone, or you do something like that.
You'd have to be connected to Wi-Fi or some kind of connection to be able to play the games.
He's saying
in
on your phone you wouldn't have you'd be on LTE.
Oh yeah, so you're probably going to be,
or even at home on a desktop PC that's wired.
You would connect your controller to Wi-Fi though. So
but what if that's what I'm saying? So you have to have Wi-Fi.
I mean, how many people don't have Wi-Fi?
I mean, I don't think that's a problem people run into anymore. But
maybe.
I'm sure you can.
Maybe grandma doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Here's the thing: you can still plug in any controller and use any controller.
Yeah, you can use any controller. It's just that it's supposed to be faster using their controller. So it's another way that Google can get into your house with something. But the
other thing is if you're concerned about privacy and your data and stuff like that, we know Google is been giving that stuff out for a while through Gmail and other stuff like that. That's not a thing I get real concerned about, but I know people are concerned about it, and so that might be a thing. It makes the part that's exciting is that it makes gaming accessible to everyone on a new level, on a probably much more inexpensive onboarding system, right? Like here you go, you can get in on this. It's not that you just maybe you buy a controller, you don't even have to buy a controller.
Right.
The way that they're integrating it with YouTube is really interesting. Like you could be watching a streamer playing on YouTube, there could be a button right there that says play this game, and you can just start playing it. The other thing is like as a streamer, you could say, hey, you guys want to play this game with me? There's a button right here next to my video. Click that, and then you get put get put into a queue of other people who want to play, and then it eventually lets you in and you play with that streamer.
Right, and it sounds like they've also got something where they can. They're saying that if you get stuck in a level or something, you might be able to.
Yeah, it has Google Assistant on it, so you press the button.
Can press the button, and say hey, and it'll grab from whatever video is out there for walkthroughs to bring that up and say, hey, here's what you need to do to get past this or whatnot. So there's a lot of really cool things about it. It does sound kind of scary that everything suddenly would be going through this one service in this way, which I think it's just right now we don't have enough information about how it's going to work. Because, I mean, it'll be like Yahoo Games where you could go play poker or like pool against other people on the internet. Remember that? Well, sure. You probably can. Did anyone else do that besides me? Yeah, I did. Okay. But I mean, I guess the same thing, right? The part that's scary is like the idea of you've got this giant company that could be taking a hold of how games are delivered to you entirely, as opposed to the way that it currently is, where you've got. I mean, they took over how videos are delivered to you, right? Sure, you're right, and it may not be something that is as scary as it may seem right now. But I mean, when you're looking at the way that video games have been, you've always had a couple different companies that have kind of been like, hey, this is how you can get access to stuff. And there's always been the exclusives that make it something that you're like, okay, there's competition.
Well, but that's not going to change. They're not.
Right. I mean, this is not
Nintendo isn't going to put their games on Stadia right now. I mean, not anytime soon.
Right.
Like, so it's but the thing is like you also. It makes me question what game ownership begins to look like. True. Like because you're like if I buy a game, I like buying digital copies, but I still feel a sense of ownership because I know it's on my hard drive. I know,
even though you may not be able to play it if you don't have the network, you still
most of the time
like there's ownership.
Most of the time, even if it's offline, if it's an offline game and I'm disconnected from the internet, I could still technically play most of those games that are not like online based. I feel like I own that game. With this, it seems weird to me. I mean, I do it with movies though, right? Like I'll buy a digital movie, it's just out there in the cloud. That's how I access it. I stream it, right? That's the only way. I don't download it to anything. I just stream the movie, and I'm fine with that. Like I'm okay with that. So it's like, can I get over that mental hurdle of like, this is only on the cloud. This is the only way I can.
It's always been that way.
What are you talking about?
Even with your physical disc, you didn't own it. You
were buying a license to own that.
Which just like the movie, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But you weren't reliant. Only thing you were relying on is the power in your house. Like you didn't have to have power.
But there's significantly less games that can be played offline nowadays.
You're right, and that's true.
I do feel like there's a little bit more of a difference with the way that movies that are digitally bought are set up compared to buying games, because movies that you're buying, most of those movie companies, if something goes under, somebody else is buying all the rights to that stuff. And those movies, I mean, how many...
It's been the same with games, though, for the most part.
But, I mean, if the servers go offline, with some games, once Destiny shuts down their servers for the first Destiny, like, no one can play that game anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that aspect of even buying games that seems like it's different than any other digital stuff.
Yeah.
With the exception of music, where sometimes you don't always have that stuff that'll pop up on different music services. Movies, for sure, seem like, for the most part, you're not going to have anybody revoke that. Same with like books that are published, that if you're buying a digital book, it doesn't feel like there's something that somebody's going to go, they've gone under, so we don't have a publisher anymore that'll hold on to this.
One thing that makes me so safe and comfortable with movies is services like Movies Anywhere, where it's taking, hey, I bought this movie on iTunes, I bought this movie on Vudu, I bought it on my Xbox, I bought it over here. And it's combining all those movies into one place. Obviously now they don't have all the studios on board yet, but still it's like it feels safer. It's like, hey, if this place goes under, I got this other
Right.
thing.
And it seems like
with
they all collect from each other, so all of your movies are in all of them, the way that Movies Anywhere set it up.
Yeah, which is great. So, but with Stadia, it's like this is a one-stop shop. Like I don't imagine there being a deal with Sony that if I buy it on my PlayStation, also we'll put it in your Stadia collection. Like
That would be awesome.
that would be great. Now, if that's the way it worked, that would be fantastic. But I don't think it's going to work that way. I don't think that's
Probably not.
Now, if it's just,
I mean, I don't know.
but where's the benefit to Google at that point?
Or to
get people on the platform.
Sony, the benefit is you bought it through
right.
Sony.
You're right. But the way that Sony and even Nintendo to a degree, the way that they are so very, very tight on what they have and not letting anybody else mess with it, I don't see them being like, even if it was something where if you buy it here, you can play it there, I don't see that being something that they'd allow. Because I don't think they
that's
want
what I'm
it.
saying. Like,
Right.
I don't think that's I don't think that's going to happen.
Even though they may still have the benefit of somebody buying in.
We're only talking exclusive games at that point, though. I mean,
Well, sure.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying-
Microsoft exclusive. Sony
No, we're not
exclusive.
though.
I
No, we're
don't
not. I'm saying like if you buy a game that's on multi-platform, they're not gonna. Sony's not gonna let you buy it on their platform
Right.
and then it become available on Stadia. That's not gonna happen. Like right now, anyways.
True, but I'm saying like if it's a
first party, then
AAA game. Yeah, like an EA
but
or
what-
something.
I'm saying
what he's
that's-
and they
saying is-
say, "Hey, you buy this on Xbox, we're going to give you the ability to play it on Skater. You buy it on PlayStation, we're going to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but how?
Kinda like-
what he's saying is they're not gonna send that license more than likely.
I'm just saying, like,
over
if you
to Stadia.
if you buy Anthem,
yeah.
if you buy Anthem on PlayStation, you're buying it for the Sony PlayStation. They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, you can play it on Stadia too." Now,
yeah,
if, the
but,
dev- if it's all
the
connected,
developer could say, but if you
like
digitally, we're going to email you a key,
right? Like
Right.
if it,
or
so
you know,
here's the interesting thing:
see
is
what
when
I mean? Like,
when-
so they can go around that from the developer side.
Well, the only reason that would make me think maybe there's a chance that something like this would happen is when I as part of that Project Stream, I got an email later, which I had no idea this was a thing, and they're like, "Hey, here's your free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey for PC."
Well, there
And
you
I was
go.
just like, "Oh, weird. Okay, so now I have that game on PC. I didn't pay for it. I just got it for free." So I don't know. That makes me wonder how they're going to work with developers. How that's now if it was like a Game Pass thing, and you're like, it's like a monthly
you buy the
thing.
service, and yeah.
And
That
they're
would make more
bringing-
sense, but how soon would they get the newest games? Like, is it
Right.
something that would be out?
And is that really how Google's done anything in the past? I mean,
Yeah.
their big goal, or everything is free to start with.
I don't think this could be free though. How could it be free? They're going to give games away for free,
No, I think the platform
make you
and
watch
a
ads?
subset of games will be free,
and then they'll make
and
you watch
then there will be
ads
some
to-
games you have to buy.
You have to skip an ad in the middle of your game.
And if you buy
Maybe.
their controller, that's where you're buying into the system, and you also
Yeah,
put a
but they're not
microphone
gonna-
in your house, so they've got
Well,
extra
they can
data
listen
they can
to you.
collect.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're telling me,
I mean, that-
I could use the Google whatever it's called
Assistant.
assistant and say, "Hey, I want to play this game.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things they
Yeah.
showed at the.
Jeremy's sold on
Turn right, turn left." You
No,
can
you're
do
not
voice
gonna
commands.
voice
yeah,
Jeremy.
totally kidding.
But I'm just saying, like, even they showed it at the press conference where they were like, "Here, he had the one controller, and he was playing on a laptop, then he played it on a phone, then he played it on a tablet, then he played it on a TV, and it was all just switched because of the wireless connection, the Wi-Fi connection. It knew when he switched to a different device, and it just moved the controller over to that device, and it was just worked
Because he
like
turned on a new device.
yeah, like he just connected to another device, so you can just pick up the game wherever you left off and just start on anything. So like it's such a cool
Oh,
concept.
and that's because all it's doing is actually streaming. I mean, it's
Yeah.
similar to what I do in IT,
Sure.
where it's just
Right.
connecting the connection exists on the server 100%.
Well, and that's the other thing people are questioning. Like, if a developer, because they're saying, like, okay, Xbox One X has 6 teraflops and PlayStation Pro has 4 teraflops, but this is going to be 10 teraflops. Like, you'll be able to utilize
Yeah.
10 teraflops to run your game. But people are questioning now too, like, as a developer, like if I build my game to run at its peak performance on the most that they offer, right? Are they going to charge me more than the indie game that doesn't need that much? Like, are they going to charge for bandwidth? Are they going
to
to
have it
charge?
on their
Right?
service.
Yeah. Like, is that
The other
gonna-
interesting thing is, like, a lot of times now, the developers own the servers for the online components of their games, even though there's a part of the processing that happens local.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that still going to be the case, or is Google going to say, "Hey, we'll run the server"? You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean local? There is no local processing.
No, not on that.
Oh.
Not on this platform. I'm saying on traditional
Oh,
platforms.
okay, gotcha.
And so that traditional platform could be Google's cloud service, if you will, right?
Gotcha.
That's what this is. But or is it going? And then the developer still has to have their own servers, or is there going to be an opportunity for Google to sell into their cloud all of that
No, so
service
here's the
to
thing.
the developer?
They already said all that. It's all
that's
on
what I'm
them.
saying. I
It's,
didn't
the
know
onus
that
is
part.
on Google for that. Like they're like, this is our. They're going to be. We've got.
See, that's an easy
So
buy-in
that's
for
where
a smaller developer who can't afford to handle management and control of their own servers.
Right, and they're gonna say you get the access to all this stuff.
See, that's huge.
The other side of it, the other thing that there's so much to talk about in this, and I feel like we could go all night. So I just want to kind of hit some of the bullet points. But there's like the thing they talked about was like, hey, we want to bring back couch multiplayer. So here's how this works: you and your friend are playing. You both have your own controller. You're sitting at the TV. We're gonna put 2 instances of the game on the same screen and split screen. So you're playing this game together.
Because it's essentially browser
But you're each in your own instance. It's not so like now where games are very like graphically taxing on a console and it's harder and you see less and less couch split screen type gameplay.
Yeah.
They're gonna put 2 instances, 300 instances they could put technically on.
Yeah, 'cause it's
on
just a
screen.
display.
Yeah, it's just streaming it to you,
Yeah.
whatever. So everybody's running their own thing. The other thing is they mentioned like, oh, we could do 1,000 player battle royale because we could have everybody that we could do. So they're teasing this stuff. That sounds amazing and awesome and fun and great, but it's also
can
just
they
like,
actually deliver the promise? That's the question right now, right?
I think
I don't
you're-
see why not.
No, I think
especially with what I do with corporate applications.
well, and
today.
I think it's twofold. Like we want to feel it, we want to see it. You're right. Like can they do it? But the other side of it is it's Google. They're probably going to do it,
Right.
And then what does that mean for the gaming industry as a whole?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
there's
Phil
a-
Spencer said he's coming out. They're coming out swinging at E3 with Game Pass, right? I think they're probably going to announce their streaming
They're
thing to
probably
compete
going to announce
with this.
their next potentially their next console too. Like
Yeah,
that's,
if
I mean, there's a
that's-
lot of rumors out there.
Unless this is their next console. Like if this is the same thing they're doing, like
Yeah.
that could be
now they say it's just a box.
Like, maybe
Or
they're-
it's
I mean,
just-
there's
or
been
if you already
rumors-
have a PC.
There's
it's
been a
just
lot of
our
rumors that that's
Xbox.
all that Xbox is going to do anyway.
Yeah,
It's going to be a box that sits there that does
Streams.
what this does.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it could be that they're saying, hey, this is the next console or the next version of what Xbox is.
But like, hear me out on this. Is what I'm saying is like, if this is the Google, how does Xbox even compete in the hardware realm? If this is where things are headed, they don't because
No.
anybody's that's
They're
any-
gonna compete in their
any-
cloud service.
Any average Joe
100%.
is going to go, oh wait, I have to have an Xbox to play your service. No, on Google I can play on my phone, on my iPad, on my Android tablet, on everything. So Xbox, if they're coming out swinging, to me,
They
that,
better come out
that
with a
means
browser.
Maybe they're
better than Edge.
well, maybe not a browser, but whatever. It could be an app. Like it could be. An
Well, yeah,
app.
I mean,
True.
there's been rumors that is what Xbox's goal is
Yeah.
to get Games Pass on everything
With, like,
as
the
well.
Switch rumor.
With the Switch rumor,
Yeah.
the idea that they want to play well with others anymore, and I mean, it makes sense if you're getting yourself.
I mean, Microsoft's never, as a company, traditionally been a hardware company. They've always been software.
I mean, until recently, they build their own laptops and stuff now.
They've
They're-
had some, and it's
Yeah.
always been small. They've done it multiple times.
but I
over
think their
years.
laptop line has gotten
their
pretty
laptop line
popular.
is really popular.
Yeah.
But then again, Google's phone line is popular. I mean, and they're a software company at
I'm
their
just
core
saying,
too.
It's
At
going to
X-
be interesting to see what happens with this because I mean, like you said, it's there's a lot of things that look like they could be really good for the gaming industry. There's a lot of things that seem like it could be really scary for the gaming industry too, in that like it's such a shift in the idea of the way that gaming is done.
Commoditize
that
a
it
little
just
bit.
almost is. It seems like it's super intimidating. Like if this actually happens, like what does that mean for gaming in general? How quickly does everything change?
Yeah.
Does it take a while for this to catch on so that if you're an early adopter, is it worth it because there's not as many people that are on the service or whatnot?
And it's the fear factor of it is like, obviously to us we know it one way, but like the up and coming generation, it's not going to mean
Sure.
anything
Yeah.
to them. They're just gonna be like, oh, this is how everything has always worked. Netflix and YouTube
Right.
and like everything like it.
yeah,
but
I don't own a single thing.
yeah, it's just the way it is.
I just own a phone.
I just pay for these services. Like,
no, you just rent a phone.
yeah, yeah. And
You don't even
technically,
own the
people.
phone.
You're right. You're right. I'm buying mine, but yeah, people just rent them.
So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But I think with Microsoft, they might announce hardware, But at this point, if their Game Pass service doesn't just work on everything, then it might be a miss for them. Like, I feel like at this point they might say, "Hey, we're doing the hardware thing for you guys that are like more hardcore," because the console business is still booming. But would something like this kill the console business? I don't know, not immediately. I mean, could this be the next like Google Plus where they're like, we give up, like, you know, like,
Right.
it did work.
Could very well be.
You know, like,
and I mean the other thing is, I mean, I think regardless of what happens, you're still going to have people that want to play on a console because there's that level of stability that it brings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, this could be something that when it launches, you may have a ton of problems with streaming.
Well, the internet in America,
Yeah.
Australia even is worse. There's no way some of these people will be able to play this.
Right, and that's
these games.
the other thing that I think is a big question is what kind of internet speeds and whatnot do you have to have for this to work and be worthwhile?
Yeah.
Like,
It might not be that much.
it might not be that much. It might be a lot more than people are expecting right now because it might be something that you need.
I mean, if
you
it's
need
just
a lot
if
more.
it's just input and screen refreshes, like I said, that's exactly what I do for business apps today.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it uses an incredibly small amount of bandwidth.
But you're also talking about looking at things that are like programs that probably aren't as complex.
all
as
the
watching.
processing is happening in the cloud. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, but it's streaming
It's only
an
streaming
image.
It's all about how many images and how
But
quickly.
we're
But you can do HD quality 4K.
Yeah, no.
But what
I
I'm
get it,
saying
but
is,
we're
like,
saying is the latency of
the
a
latency
controller input to the game is much more. Where a mouse click on a PowerPoint or whatever is nothing. Like that,
Yeah.
there could be a
No,
little
I get
lag
that.
there. So that doesn't mean anything in
And
the realm of gaming.
a little lag in that may not even be noticeable. Whereas a game, it could be the worst
True.
thing for the specific game.
The input lag.
Where
is
you're
your
talking
biggest
like
concern.
like people that are into fighting games or something like Smash Brothers or Street Fighter or something like that, where they're like every frame of video counts. Like the way you input your
and how quickly you
the way
respond.
the way you input combos into that are dependent on each frame of video. And so like how is like a hardcore like fighting
I
game
don't
person
know
gonna
if
say
that's
this is
the
this is
platform
gonna
for this
work
yet.
for me. Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think
but
our
I mean,
internet
the way
is
that
there.
the way that they came out and announced it, it sounds like they are trying to pitch, hey, this is your place from here on out for getting this.
Of course.
Just like YouTube is, just like Google is for email, just like Google is for I mean, who anymore is, unless you're like doing it in a work environment, and a lot of work environments don't even use Microsoft Office anymore. They use Google's platform because it's free and it doesn't cost them anything, or it costs them way less to license for a large amount of people than it does to license a single copy of Microsoft Office for every single person's computer. There's just a lot of different things that they do that I mean, it's something that's going to be interesting to watch and see where this all plays out.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we could talk about on this, but I feel like we can't.
We'll probably be
dive
talking
in
about this more.
I think E3 comes around and we'll learn
As we
more.
get more info.
But hey, gaming's going to change, and that's inevitable.
Yep.
And, I mean, either we're going to be old men literally yelling at the digital cloud, or we're just going to get along with it and go with it. Anyways.
Yeah.
There is a Jeremy. Do we want to give time to this story?
Put up the little picture,
Just
and
the
it's
map?
just put up the map. We'll talk about it. Go ahead and
So
read
this is a story from PC Mag that says mapping state by state tech trends, top U.S. gaming platforms. Okay, which I am blown away by.
They did a huge survey.
This is like 70% Xbox.
Yeah.
Which, if you talk to people, PlayStation has sold way more than Xbox. So how is this possible? Is it because people are still playing their 360s?
I have no idea. No. This is based on Xbox One and Xbox One X only.
That doesn't
It
add
doesn't
up
compute
to
unless
the sales totals and stuff.
unless it's one where there's people that have both and they
say,
use
this is which one do you
this
use the
for-
most? So it doesn't count. I mean, yeah, people may own.
No, but I'm saying that
multiples.
doesn't add up though, because there's way more PlayStation 4s sold than
I was
Xboxes.
surprised how many states have Switch
Yeah.
and how fewer PC.
I'm not.
To be honest,
The way
The
that
Switch
the way
is-
that the Switch is selling, it is. I mean,
yeah.
What is it like? Montana is into PC? Is that what that is? Is that
Yeah,
Montana?
Montana.
Yeah, Montana, West Virginia, and
that's it.
No,
no,
there's
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island's
Yeah.
into
the
PC
other
gaming.
one. Yeah.
This just doesn't seem accurate.
I mean, PC gaming in Montana kind of makes sense, right? If they have terrible internet.
But you have to download all your games. on PC.
Well,
That's why that doesn't make sense.
But if
yeah,
you're talking
but
about
then
like
once you do, I mean,
playing
if it's a
with-
local game only,
yeah, I
it's not-
guess
it's-
maybe
Then they don't have to do
they're
anything
playing. They're
online.
just playing solitaire up there.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's only like 5 people in Montana.
I saw this and I was just like, you're right. I don't understand it. It's also interesting to see the differences.
Like California is an Xbox state. I just don't see that. Nevada's PlayStation. I would see that swapped.
I mean,
I don't get it either. But
I don't. I'm curious.
I mean,
like how they got
honestly,
this data.
it would make a lot more sense if New York and California,
Right, because they're
and
higher-
Texas
more
were
highly
listed as
populated.
PlayStation because of the population.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it doesn't make sense. Teddy says, "What the map is accurate for Arizona? It looks like PlayStation is Republican and Xbox is Democratic."
Yeah,
Does that look
like the
kinda
blue
accurate?
state. I don't know. California's a blue
not
state.
the whole middle.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
whole middle of the country is wrong there.
Yeah,
But
That is funny. I mean,
I don't know. We'll have to.
PC's Libertarian or
They'll-
Green Party.
There will be a link to this story in
Yeah,
our
you
notes.
can
So if
find
you
the
want to
info.
investigate it more and see if you agree with your state, I mean, it shows here Nebraska.
They put a
is
lot of stats
Xbox.
behind it if you want
Xbox,
to get into
and
the
it
details.
shows that Iowa is a Switch state. So there you have it.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to be more Xbox, but I play a lot more of single player type of stuff and just think of grabbing it on PlayStation more frequently than I used to.
I started to lean that way a little bit. I was actually more PC, and then I got my Xbox One X, which runs everything a lot better.
Sure.
And so I was just kind of like, it's easier just to have it on a console sometimes, to just sit on
Sure
the
it
couch
is.
and
Right.
fire it up, and like I kind of moved away from PC games. Okay, cool. That's an interesting thing. I don't know if I can 100% agree with it, but I don't. I mean, it just doesn't
It's based on a poll.
unless they're saying that way more PlayStations sold overseas, and that's where those numbers
Well,
come.
that's-
Because there's zero
No.
Xboxes selling.
This is based
out.
on a
based
poll
on a
of
poll.
usership.
So
That's what-
it's,
yeah.
So it's asking questions, and they're not asking. They're
Saying
asking,
which console do you use the most?
They're
Which
getting-
gaming platform.
They're getting the people that have bought more Xbox than PlayStation. That's what it is. They didn't talk to as many people that have
Yeah.
PlayStations, is my guess.
It's a weird. Polls are weird sometimes.
Yeah.
And plus, sometimes the sample size is really small.
Right.
It could be like 10 people from Montana and
And-
100
yeah,
people
all
from
of them.
California.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah,
it's-
like I
Right.
said, I didn't go into the grab all the
But it is
where the
interesting to-
population statistics is, but
It is interesting to look at that, though.
All right, we don't have a 404 tonight, but we do, as I teased earlier, have an email.
That's true.
Would you like to read this email from
I
from
will.
Zach?
I will read this email. It comes in from Zach. Dear Men in a Tub, I am a new owner of a Nintendo Switch. Like I said, Nintendo Switch showing up everywhere.
Woo.
And I would like some suggestions for tub-approved indie games on the console. What have been your favorite indie titles for Switch? I missed the loop, but the format of the TUBCAST has been great. I look forward to listening every week. Keep up the good work. Also, I may have missed it, but I didn't find a contact/about page on the new website. This might be by design, but I wanted to let you know.
Okay, real quick, I want to address that last note. We do not have an about page. That's correct. We probably need one. Second,
I mean,
Do-
where do you
we need to
find
do
it?
some more headshots.
Just let me talk. Second, the about or the contact page, we did not have that, but I did add an email button at the bottom of the website now, so people can't email us. So there, we're
Nice.
safe. We're safe. About, we'll need someone to write that.
hey, thanks for going to that old school thing called websites.
I'll try to write some about us.
Yeah, we'll get an about
We'll s-
page up there eventually.
We'll make it fun.
We're good with photos. We can just take a selfie. Let's go down the line all the way.
Indie though?
Yeah, indie games that you're playing. on
Jeremy
the Switch.
none.
None for
Do you
Jeremy.
have
then.
any?
I'm gonna be
No.
honest.
doesn't.
No.
Like, what's
I
crazy
play- I
is-
play Nintendo games.
How
on
many
the
times have we
Switch.
said this is a great game, and you're like, "Oh, I should buy that for when I travel."
And then I don't.
Why?
You don't.
Because my kids are using the Switch all the time, and they never want me to take it.
Don't let them do that.
I need to buy another
Just
Switch.
buy another
Switch.
And then I'll
Buy
be
another
fine.
Switch.
Yeah, I ended up buying myself a Switch. Then I leave the other one for my
That's
family.
what I need to do.
And I'm like, "You don't touch Daddy's Switch."
That's the thing. Like I'll be like, oh, I want to play a Switch game.
You're gonna
And
get
I'm
the
like-
screen
I'm like-
smudgy.
I'm like, where is it?
Yeah.
You know, and one of the kids have it.
Is there a good way to clean? Is there like a specific
I
good
just
way to
use
clean
microfiber cloth like
Okay.
I use for everything.
Because mine's starting to get a little.
Gross, Kyle.
I mean, I've had
Take
it
care.
for what,
Using
2 years
use
now.
an appropriate digital screen cleaner if
Okay.
you do anything.
All right,
liquid.
Kuipers, I want to start with you. Let's change things up.
Yeah.
Kuipers, I know you're a Switch owner.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you recommend for Zach?
Okay, so I saw at least one of them that I would recommend was also on your list, Eric. Do you mind if I
You gotta
steal
go
it?
for it. I had a long list.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
War Groove was one I'd put on there.
Oh, did you start playing that?
Yeah, I started playing it.
Oh,
a
that
bit.
game's great.
Yeah,
I
It's
haven't
challenging.
even heard of that
It's
one.
hard, but it's very good.
it's a tactics game, so
If you remember, it reminds me of Advance Wars from the old DS days, and I love those games.
just more fantasy. Yes.
yeah. It's not like it's
Yeah.
not Advance Wars.
No.
It's like medieval wars.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's great.
Then I also put up Donut County because that was also like I got that one from Kyle's recommendation, or at least since
No,
you were
I
talking
think it was
about that-
Eric's.
That's the whole one, right? Where
Yeah.
you had the different size
Yeah.
holes.
The only
and
thing
you-
I will say about that, I'm not knocking your choice. It's a great game. It is fantastic. You should play it. But I think you could probably get it for like way cheaper on your phone.
Okay, fair
If,
enough.
if you, I know on at least
It's-
on iOS it's like 99 cents.
It's
or
a
something.
shorter game too, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I'll shut
It's
up.
probably
now.
yeah. I did feel like the price was a bit more on at least on Switch than I thought it could have been.
Yeah.
but still a fun game though. And then Evoland, which I played on PC and had a great time playing that. If you just kind of like retro throwback game, it's a great pickup then.
Is that the one where it actually evolves through different eras of video gaming as
Yeah.
you play it? Like it starts out
Yeah,
in 8-bit,
so, like, it's
goes
kind-
to 16-bit, 32.
Yep,
and-
that was the first
okay.
game. The second game kind of went to more just not just adventure games, but like games as a whole. So there's like Diner Dash section, like a Galaga section, like a Street Fighter kind of section of the game.
Wait, it's $5 on the store?
Yeah, it's game of the day though.
Ooh.
Donut County.
It's $5, but I still think
$5.
isn't it like 10 or 15 on the Switch?
Probably.
Think
Probably.
yeah,
And it's the
or-
exact
I think
same
it's
game.
like $10. I want to
Yeah.
say
Any others? Or is that it for indies?
that was at least the other ones I had.
Okay, cool. Jeremy, did you have any or not?
No.
Kyle?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say keep this in here because I might go look at some games later because I still have some.
We'll
credit
put the
and-
list in the show notes.
Yeah. I had Pool Panic. That's a game that came out last summer from Adult Swim that is a puzzle game based on pool. You shoot pool, and it's weird puzzles that you've got to... I haven't beat it. There's a large chunk of levels in it, and it's just a fun, quirky, different take on the idea of a pool game. Minute, based on kind of what I've seen and heard, and the fact that I bought it. And then Gris is a beautiful game that is, yeah, I like it a lot. There's a lot of imagery in that one. He's like you're like a girl that's like lost in this weird land, and you gain powers as you go through.
It's got a really cool art style, right?
Yeah, the art style is
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, the art style and music and everything alone, it's kind of reminds me of what was that game on Xbox that was like the black and white side scroller.
Oh,
It's not Inside, but
well, it's
same
from the creators
yeah.
of Inside.
Inside is another
Limbo?
example.
Limbo.
Yeah.
And then
It
they
kind-
put that into the that bike game. They put a limbo level. Anyway.
Okay, but no,
The
it
bike
kind of
game.
Yeah.
Oh, Trials.
Trials. They put a limbo level in it.
So Gris kind of reminds me of like Limbo or Inside, but like it's in a fantastic art style. So if those types of games are up your alley, those would be ones that I would list.
Cool.
And then there's several on Eric's list that
You would
I would
second.
say.
I did
yes.
just remember one other one too that I actually wanted to add.
I'll let you talk, I guess,
Hee hee.
since I never do.
Since Mutiny Teddy called you out.
So another one I would add would be Dragon Marked for Death. I just forgot that one came out kind of recently, but if you ever play like the Mega Man X games or kind of even more the ZX games, more so, kind of reminiscent of those, only it's also multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
So like kind of there's like different classes. The Witch is like the most confusing one because you have to memorize like strings of like 6 to 8 button inputs of like A B X Y X Y A B to do like magic.
What one I was surprised wasn't on your list, and it's not on mine, but would you recommend Battle Chef Brigade?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another one that's up there if you like puzzle games.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a definitely out there like puzzle game. Like
Yeah.
it's a little weird because there's some almost adventure-y RPG kind of elements.
Yeah,
to it,
like-
but you're a chef and it's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'll try to go through this quick. Moonlighter.
Have it.
Moonlighter's a fantastic little gem of a game. Real quick synopsis. during the day you're a shopkeeper from like an RPG, like a traditional shopkeeper that you would normally visit as the hero. But then at night you go out and hunt and collect loot to sell in your shop in the morning.
Yep.
Really good game. Stardew Valley, obviously it's been out a few years now, but holy crap, that game is so good if you haven't played that yet. Wargroove we already mentioned, really good. Ape Out is new. It's kind of like got a vibe of like Hotline Miami. Top down, you're a gorilla or an ape, and you're trying to bust out of this like institute or whatever, and you're pretty much just like obliterating these soldiers by smashing them against the wall, and they just breaking up into body parts and blood. It's great. Celeste is also a really good game. It's very challenging platformer though, so if you're not into that,
great game.
Steer clear. But it's very much in that genre of like maybe a Super Meat Boy or something like that if you played that, but it has a really like sweet story about depression and a lot of that stuff that it ties in there. It's really good. Into the Breach is also really good. It's like a strategy game.
Yes.
Kind of similar to Wargroove, but this is like giant mechs and you're kind of planning out your moves, and you gotta be smart about it or you die and your robots blow up and it's sad. One of my
great game.
Favorite games of a year or two ago was SteamWorld Dig 2. It's a really fun 2D side scroller where you mine and you'll get these different parts that help you traverse the map, and you keep upgrading them. It's a great time. And then a new one that I just started playing this week. I cannot give this game enough praise. Every time I play a level on this game, I go, this is really, really smart. It's called Baba Is You. BABA Is You. It just came out on like the 13th, I think, of March. And I have to explain it really quick because it's such a unique premise. It's technically a puzzle game, but it's from the top down, and you're this little like bunny rabbit looking character. And then there's these these statements around the map that you're on each level. It'll say like Baba is you, and then it'll say wall is stop, rock is push, water is sink, and it'll say these things all around the screen. And you can move those little blocks around. So you can say and then it'll say like flag is win. And so that means to beat the game, you got to get to the flag. So sometimes you can move those blocks around to say something like wall is Baba. And when you do that, then all of the wall turns into a ton of you. And then you can just walk into the flag and get it. Or like tonight I was playing and I was like, rock is Baba. And then the game just stops because you're just rock and you can't move. So like,
that's funny.
It is so smart, and it does have an undo, so you can just undo your moves. So it's not too punishing. If you mess up, you just undo, or you can pull a trigger and restart the level completely. I'm telling you, like, if you're gonna buy a little indie darling right now, this is my number one recommendation. It is so great. It is so charming, and it ramps up nice, and it's not super hard right away, but it kind of ramps up real easy. It starts off simple and it gets a lot harder. An incredible game. Check it out. Baba Is You. It's $15. That's out of all these that I recommended. That's my number one recommendation right now. It's really fun.
Okay. There is one other game that I would like to throw in there. Cuphead is coming to Switch.
I saw that. That's exciting.
April 18th.
Which it's a Microsoft developed only game, which they're putting out there.
Yes. So if you like games that are frustrating, kind of like I mean, I think of
game that's
I think of Celeste in the same way that there are just
Cuphead's much more punishing.
I was going to say, Celeste is enjoyable.
Celeste, I have had moments where I haven't beat either of these games, and Celeste, I've had times where I've been playing and just hitting my head against the wall and just kind of like, okay, I need to step away from this and same thing with Cuphead. They're games that can be very, very difficult to get through levels. But they are fantastic games. So,
cool.
Another one.
Alrighty. There you go, Zach. Hopefully you have found a game in this list that you can play. We'll put it on the website for anyone else, Zach too. You can go check it out on the website.
Check it out.
But it'll be on our show notes if you want to see the list of these games that we mentioned tonight.
So when I finally get a second
Are you still the one you have from your child?
Yeah.
Just go steal it from your child and download.
The problem is I put the games on, and then they're going to want to play the games, and then I won't see it more
they've got
often.
theirs.
That's
You've
what
got
I mean.
yours.
I need a new Switch. That's the answer.
All right. That does it for this show. But before we go, yeah, it's been a long one. I feel like my throat is getting dry from like my Diet Coke from the top of the show almost 2 hours ago is gone. We got to thank our Patreon peeps. We cannot leave without thanking you guys. You are all the lovely individuals who donate on a monthly level to Minute in a Tub.
Thank you.
You help encourage us. You give us this courage to continue. If you're interested in being one of the heroes like Jolliver or God of Atheists, you can go to patreon.com/minuteinatub and donate. Honestly, even if it's just $1, it is such an encouragement to us, and it does go to help us make the show better.
Yes.
Do other things that we couldn't do without the money. So we really appreciate all our patrons, and we appreciate all our listeners. Just you, little old you, just listening right there. I don't know where you're at right now, but wherever you are, thank you. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. We will be back next week. We're always on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I think that's it.
About it, right?
Alrighty. We'll see y'all. Good night. Thanks for joining us for another show. We covered all the things.
All of them.
I feel exhausted.
Yeah.
This was a long show tonight, but it was good. We got a lot of details in there. We learned about Stadia. We learned that Jeremy likes to dip potatoes in potatoes.
Yeah.
It was really a good night.
Potatoes on potatoes.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.